Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 35 and today we're making our debut in the T20 Blast, our first T20 game at county level, and we couldn't be doing it in a better place if we tried, as we spend an evening at Lords, the home of cricket. We're going to Middlesex and it's going to be a tough game, but hopefully we'll be able to produce something special and cement our place in this side long term. But before that, because we haven't been on the Career Hub for a while, I just want to update you with our averages this season, just to show you how we're getting on and how we've performed in each competition, and also to give you a bit of headline news as well. Let's go and look at our teams and you'll suddenly see what it is. We've now got a contract with the Western Warriors, the Australian Sheffield Shield side. I'm not sure who their star players are. They've got Hilton Cartwright, Nathan Coulton-Isle, Jason Berendorf as well, Marcus Stoinis, Ashton Agar, Turner, what a side they've got. Darcy Short, Josh Inglis, Cameron Bancroft and David Warner, and Mitch Marsh in there as well. Plenty of players that we know very well, and many that are superstars in either the Australian colours or for the Big Bash T20 tournament held in Australia every summer over there. But more importantly, let's go and have a look at our averages this season, just to see how we've been getting on really. I'm not sure which one we're in now, 2022. So in first class matches, our average is now 74. Of course it was lowered very slightly by that failure in the first innings in the last episode. And in the second innings we managed to get 89, and that pushed us back up to a decent level. Our strike rate actually went above 100 in that innings, 5 sixes now and 132 fours. It's been a wonderful season at first class level and we really have made a bit of an impact. In terms of the one day side, we didn't do quite as well there, but a strike rate of almost 100 again. Quite often we were seeing our side over the line when chasing, so there was no need to really go big and attacking. But again, 521 runs at an average of 52. We're looking a very good player at this level, and surely international selection's not far away. Wickets, we took 10 at first class level, not the best strike rate, but we're only a part-timer. Our economy's under 2 in both forms, and in one day cricket we've taken plenty of wickets. So 26 over the season's not bad for a part-timer, even though that is in 2 forms of the game. And then in terms of our selection status as well, we're a fringe member in the Sheffield Shield, obviously having just picked up selection, and the same again in the T20 Blast. So what that does mean in those 2 competitions is if we do have a poor start, we'll probably be out the side again, but we've certainly cemented our place in the Royal London One Day Cup, which obviously we helped Yorkshire win, and in the first class season as well, where we've been really instrumental so far. You can see we're starting to get attention from a couple of the other T20 leagues as well, the Pakistan Premier Plate and the Caribbean Cricket Cup, so hopefully those 2 will get a chance in next year, but of course that will largely depend on our form this summer. The England selection's still at no chance, we're not even captain at county level yet, don't forget, so we've got a little while to go before we have to worry about any of that. But of course we can still get excited about playing in new leagues and competitions, and this year for the first time we'll be going abroad. But back to today, we're playing at Lords. It's a T20 Blast game, our first one at county level. We've got to put all of our focus into this, as otherwise this spell could end in tears. The season's still got time to go wrong yet, so we'll try and be careful and make sure we do our best as we head to the home of cricket, hoping to impress the England selectors. Let's see who the favourites are. We've certainly got the better side by the looks of things. I'm interested to see if there's any T20 specialists, or if we do just end up with the same 11 again. It's a grassy medium pitch. Obviously we did get practice on a grassy pitch in the last episode, so we'll try and be careful of that tonight. Basically no bouncers can be left, as they may just skid on and hit the stumps. A hot evening at Lords as you'd expect in mid-July, so let's go and get into the match and see if we can make it a debut to remember. We're at the home of cricket and it's a pretty similar side actually. It looks like we're missing out on Bairstow en route due to international duties again, but Adil Rashid is involved in this one. Obviously has a white ball contract at Yorkshire in real life, so really good to see that replicated in game. Gary Balance is back in the team as well, and I have no idea who the skipper is for this one. Let's see what happens with the toss. Hopefully we'll be batting first and can put on a score, but Middlesex have got the choice here, so what are they going to go for? Let's see what it is. They're taking their time to make the decision. They're going to bowl and that means we're into bat first. Hopefully we'll be able to put on a big score. The ground's filling up quite nicely here at Lords and it is looking relatively nice and picturesque. All of the background features are spot on as well. There is certainly plenty of attention to detail. Here we go then, we're facing our first ball at T20 county level. There aren't many gaps in the field actually, and we've hit this one a little bit too early, straight to the fielder in the circle. Obviously the first over is normally the easiest to bowl because there aren't too many gaps and the batsman doesn't want to get out, so we've got to try and take that approach too. No risky aerial shots for the first 6. Maybe we just hit that single to the leg side. It is our favourite shot after all, and then we can focus on the big shots after, knowing that we won't be out for a duck. We've done that with the second ball, a more sensible approach, and young Mason Edward joins us at the other end. A former foe at club level, now a teammate. Hopefully he'll do well for us. Got 42 runs in one match so far, so he must be doing something right and be a decent player, and he's managed to get 4 off 6 balls as we're back in to face another medium pacer. This time there is more space on the leg side, so hopefully we could get a boundary, but this one goes across the stumps and almost gets the edge. It really hasn't been a great start by our standards. We're just waiting for that perfect ball we can hit away. I'm tempted to go big down the ground, but it's not the right time for it as we smash this one for 4. That'll be a bit of a loosener for us. Hopefully it'll take any nerves away. 5 isn't a failure anymore, certainly not a bad one, so that will make us a little bit more relaxed as they've left that gap on the leg side. Let's see if we get another delivery that's favourable. Will it give us the chance to hit another boundary? It does, but we don't connect with it well. But it might still beat the fielder, you know. I was so sure he was going to cut that off, but in the end it's 2 boundaries in a row. A brilliant start for us. We're now on to 9 off 5 balls, and things are all suddenly looking rosy again. They've put a man in the deep on the offside, down at the sort of extra cover region, but they have not moved this gap on the leg side, and they're bowling to their field pretty woefully. Another 4, that's 3 boundaries in the over, and we've moved into double figures, but the field has now been reverted. That's because we're back in the next over with Anderson back at the crease. He's bowling to us on the leg side again, and it is just going to be a single. We're going to have to scamper through very slightly, but Yorkshire move past 20 now. 3 overs gone, Edwards on 9 off 11, and it's a blast from the past at the crease. Emmett Olsen's bowling to us the spinner. He got us out quite a few times at club level, so hopefully he won't have the same success today. We just rush a single and get off strike as quickly as possible, though Harry Brooks in at the other end now, as Edward obviously lost his wicket. So Olsen effective, and it must have been a run out, because there's nothing to say that he's got a wicket, so it is just going to be another single for us, and hopefully Brook will survive the last ball. Another new bowler coming in, and yet another medium pacer. Eskinazi with a ball on the stumps. We flick it away but don't beat the fielder, and that's going to be a dot ball. A pretty wasteful shot really. We easily should have got a boundary. We'll hope to do better with the next one as there's still that big vacant space on the leg side. 16 off 10, our strike rate's still good, but we need a bit more support at the other end. We've left this one a little later and I think we're going to get our rewards for it. It does just trickle to the boundary, but we're always guaranteed 2 there. Yorkshire into the 30s and things are looking good, particularly for us as we move on to 20. The big worry was failing in our first T20 match, but thankfully due to these gaps in the field, we haven't had to be as aggressive as we normally would. We expected to be trying to take risky shots over the top, but at the moment we're able to play a normal way and hit 4s along the ground with low risk. That last boundary takes our strike rate up to 200. Really not great bowling from the new medium pacer. This time we tried to split the 2 fielders. The one's on the leg side that are spread nicely, but we hit it pretty poorly in the end, and it's just going to be an easy single. Harry Brook returns the favour, and we're now going to face the last ball of the over. Just this one and one more over left in the power play. It's wild outside leg stump, but we can't quite get enough on it, so I think it is just going to be 2 runs. Called back well by the fielder, and we won't try and risk a 3rd there. It would have been too tight, and we need to save our fitness, as don't forget we're likely to bowl later on. Emmett Olsen into his 2nd over then. Harry Brooks scored just 1 run off 4. There's plenty of space on that leg side as we do manage to get an easy single, and this unfortunately is normally the tail of the middle overs in T20 cricket. Spinners coming in and just trying to find 1 boundary and over, or alternatively running 5 or 6 quick singles. So we will try and stick to that approach for now, and then we can go big if we're still in at the end. Eskinazi's in for his 2nd over, and this time by contrast he's completely protected the leg side. side. So we're going to go back to our old club cricket trick. We're going to run the quick twos, just play controlled shots and try and keep them in the circle. So the fielders from the deep have 30 yards to run in, or the bowler has to go the other way to chase it. So 2 runs off the first ball and we're going at it again. And we've now moved on to 30 as well. What a brilliant start it's been. This time they've put some more protection on the leg side, but we still try and go for the same approach. Now unfortunately this time it's just going to be 1, and Harry Brook will be back on strike. Another single brings us back to the crease. Last ball of the over, we just play the controlled shot. I think we're going to be able to nick 2 here, as the fielder's not coming in too quickly, and in the end it's actually pretty comfortable. We move on to 50 with 7 overs gone. We're about to face a third of the Afghanistani dream spin trio. This one's outside leg from Majib. We've got to try and hit it now whichever way round the crease it comes, although this is just going to be a single, as I'd expect Majib to be economical. Harry Brook at the other end struggled with him, as we just faced the last ball of the over. Ethan Bamber, the medium pacer's back in, went for 15 off his first over. We got quite a few boundaries in that as well, and now they've put all the fielders out on the leg side, and we're just going to try and hit controlled shots for 2. This one I think we might have hit too hard, so again it's just going to be 1. Timed it a little bit late, but we're still ticking over quite nicely. It's important to rotate the strike a lot, keep the field busy and moving. Harry Brook's done the same, albeit 3 balls later. We've got a wild one outside leg there. We've not managed to control the shot at all, and unfortunately it'll be an easy single. Over number 10 then, Majib continues. Plenty of space down the ground on the offside, and we went for a big one, and unfortunately it got us. Trying to hit the boundary, playing outside off, and we've edged it through to the keeper. Majib taking our wicket. Having said that, it wasn't a particularly poor start. There's no point us challenging that. It's our debut at T20 level and we put a good score on. A strike rate of 160, 36 off 22 balls, and it's been a really good debut for us so far, so hopefully Yorkshire can put on a good score and we'll be able to do a job with the ball as well. Well, not the best middle order performance from Yorkshire, only making it to 167 in the end, and it was a constant flow of wickets unfortunately. The middle order leaning out for 5, Willie out for a duck, and then the others got to 20 or 30, but most of them did it pretty slowly. Harry Brook in particular 8 up deliveries, he went at just about 1 a ball, not good enough at this level really. Middlesex are back in and they've started like a house on fire, flying out the traps with 32 off the first 3 overs, and we've now been brought in midway through the power play, something that's a little bit concerning for me, particularly as an inexperienced part-timer. So we've put an extra man out in the deep, we've taken out the slip from our normal field, he's gone deep on the leg side where we often concede most of our runs, and what we're going to try and do is bowl onto the leg pad and hope they go for a big one, and we've got 2 catching men out there. So a standard delivery to start the over. Let's see if it's going to be a good one. Straight at the stumps and it's just flicked away. Straight to the man and it's a dot ball to start. Second ball of the over and we're going to go for another off breaker. We don't need to keep things too tricky here. Nice and simple will do the trick as he tries to swing his bat and hook it to the leg side. Bowling to the left handers is normally our weakness anyway, and this time it's obviously going to give us more worries. So we're going to flight the third one in, try and get a little bit closer to the stumps, and this time he tries to sweep away, but 3 dot balls is a brilliant start. Maybe we're going to be economical again. We're going to throw in a doosra while we're here. Got to have 1 wrong and per over. It has improved as a skill. We've worked on the attribute, and although they get it away to the leg side here, it is just going to be a single, and we'd have taken 1 off the first 4 balls. Another off breaker then, and we'll finish with our usual top spin shot. Must both be left-handers at the crease, and this one sweeps as well, but it doesn't beat the fielder in the circle. Just 1 conceded off 5 balls. I'm absolutely delighted with that so far. But of course we don't want to speak too soon. Got 1 more delivery to come, the top spinner. Let's see what happens to it. They go for a big flamboyant shot, but again it's straight to the fielder, and we've conceded just 1 off our first over. A brilliant start for us in the T20 Blast, and it looks like we're backing up our performance with the bat. I think it's fair to say the economy problems are certainly at the other end. The last over's gone for another 10, so with 5 overs gone, Middlesex are 43 without loss. We're sticking with the same field though. This one's a little bit wider on the leg side, but we just about get away with it. No run off the first ball, and we'll go for a flighted delivery next. Let's see what they try and do with it. Holden on strike for this ball. Oh, he's gone big and he's going to make it as well. 2 fine for the fielder, 1 bounce 4. And that's the first boundary we've conceded at this level. Just got out of shape and went a little bit too wide. And unfortunately, good players are going to punish us there. This one straight at the stumps, and we've seen the switch hit in action. Don't think I've seen that yet in this career. Thankfully, it picks out the man at cover. And it's another dot ball despite some worrying signs. The top spinner to finish the over. Can we take a wicket? We can't, but it picks out the man in the field. And despite conceding our first boundary at this level, it's only 4 led off the over. A brilliant start, 5 off 2. We wouldn't have complained about that at the start. Adil Rashid, the England international, comes in at the other end. A star in the World Cup, of course. Let's see how he got on in his over. Not particularly great, actually. Another 10 runs. And we're now back at the other end with 2 more left to bowl. Third over then, and we'll start in a normal fashion. The off-break delivery straight at the stumps. Important we don't get too wide and force those attacking strokes. Of course, if that does start to happen in this over though, we can now take fielders out of the circle. The important thing for Middlesex is they haven't conceded any wickets, and as long as that wicket column says 0, they've got so much scope to attack at the end. We've got a little L beach out there, but I think it connected outside off stump. Certainly not any bat involved, but obviously it's not worth an appeal. I'm not sure why we're allowed to make that decision really. Surely the skipper should choose where to challenge, and we can just ask them whether we want them to or not. This one's gone straight to the man as it's another switch hit attempt, but they haven't yielded any success so far, as it's another dot ball and we're on for a maiden. 2 balls to go and we've not conceded a run, and now we've got a wicket to go with it. Beat him all ends up straight through between bat and pad. He tried to get it to the leg side, but unfortunately it sent the stumps crashing. Brilliant delivery, and we get our first T20 wicket, and at county level we've bowled Max Holden for 24 for Middlesex. A strike rate of 100, we slowed him down as well, and now we can try and take 2 in 2 as Kane Williamson comes to the middle. A right-hander, which we prefer anyway, and it's the final ball, so we'll go for our usual top spinner. Hopefully if we bowl it at the stumps, it might lead to something special. I'm not sure if that was bat or pad. It was an edge if it was the bat, but unfortunately it dropped safe, and the umpire deems it to have been bat first. A brilliant over though, a maiden for us, and we took a wicket there as well. Our first in a T20 Blast, and hopefully there's many more to come. Well, unsurprisingly after our spells so far, we've been brought back in for our final over. 1 for 5 off 3, and the last over was spectacular. Middlesex now need 103 off 66, so we've just got to try and slow that run rate down, and if we could take 1 more wicket, it would obviously put some pressure on. Williamson goes over the man at mid-on though. He's gone for 4 runs. I thought for a moment it would be a catching chance, but he did catch it just well enough. I'm not taking men out the circle as it's caused so much pressure so far, and now we're going to go for a flighted delivery. We'll only do that if we have 2 or 3. This one's gone to the man, a deep forward mid-wicket for a single, and that takes the right-hander back off strike, and now we're facing a lefty Morris again. 5 runs off the over already. They are starting to show more intent, but hopefully as we bowl a doosra, we'll be able to cause a bit of havoc. This one straight at the stumps, and it has been flicked away on the leg side. Clearly more intent as they go the aerial route, but it drops safe for the man in the deep, and it is going to be another single. Now I'm going to try something potentially stupid. We're going to go for a full off breaker, try and catch him on the feet. He might go for a big shot from it. What happened there? It almost went between his legs, I think. But we get away with it. It's going to be a dot ball. And of course we're not going to challenge as we're certainly not sure. Always worth an appeal though as we go back to the off breaker, and we won't go too wide on the leg side as this time he picks out the man in a circle. 1 more ball left in our spell. It'll be the halfway point for Middlesex too. They need 97 off 61 balls, so it really is important we don't concede a boundary. The top spinner's been good for us so far, caused a little bit of havoc. This one at Williamson straight back past us, and as we said we don't need to concede a boundary. That one's obviously gone for 4. Narrowly over our head, but we didn't have time to react. If we did, it could have been a second wicket to finish. A good spell though that we got a little bit wide to the leg stump, and that obviously caused some chaos at times and allowed Williamson to get 2 boundaries. Overall though we only went for 14 runs, a really good spell by our standards, and we can't complain too much. In fact it was 15 runs in the end, but Middlesex get there comfortably. With an over to spare they get to 171 and only 2 wickets down, the bit that cost us in the end. David Milan, the England international, scored some runs, and Kane Williamson obviously got 41. Owen Morris was there all the way to the end, and he gets man of the match with 77 not out. We'll be back in a moment to look at the career hub and plan when we'll see our next episode. Well, we come back to a very interesting message. We've been offered the captaincy for the Sheffield Shield. We just looked at the Western Warriors side before we played that game, and they're littered with world-class international players. So why on earth we've been offered the captaincy, I'm not sure, but of course we're going to accept it. We didn't get that opportunity with Yorkshire yet in any form of the game, so I'm really surprised it's come first in the Australian tournament, as I'd have expected it to happen in one of the county tournaments. But either way, we're going to skip through to our next match, a first class game against Leicester Shearer. You can see that most of our schedule's T20 from here on in, and we're going to try and show as much of that as possible this summer. Of course they're the most exciting games. I get to show you a mix of batting and bowling, and we've managed to have a few first class milestones this season, so there isn't too much more to show from it this year. And although of course it was a disappointing start to the tournament for Yorkshire, personally we were their standout performer, top run scorer, and took a wicket as well as having a good economy. No one else managed that in the side, so hopefully our place will be cemented soon. We've obviously got to do a little bit better, otherwise we're not going to get through anytime soon, but to be part of the T20 side now and featuring at county level in all three formats really does bode well for the future. But if you did enjoy this episode and our T20 Blast debut, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Of course we put in a decent performance at the home of cricket, and it always is good to perform well at Lords, particularly with England selectors surely watching. I presume the Western Warriors coaching team are watching, as they offered us the captaincy immediately after the game. They obviously saw something they quite liked, and it means we'll be able to control the amount we bowl as well, something I'm really looking forward to. Let me know in the comments how you think we should approach the T20 Blast. Do I need to go for more aggressive aerial shots, or do we just play sensibly to the gaps in the field? I guess as an opener you always want to set an explosive star, but is it worth doing that and losing your wicket half the time when you can just go at 160? It's a brilliant strike rate anyway, we shouldn't be complaining, but I guess the scores at T20 level in this game do seem to be a little bit higher than in real life. Subscribe to the channel for 3 episodes a week from this Cricket 19 career, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. The series will continue on this schedule until the release of FM20, at which point we'll continue with 2 episodes a week. Speaking of FM20, keep your eyes peeled on Saturdays, as we'll have announcements about the game, reaction to features and some polls about teams we could manage. We'll obviously give you a chance to shape some of the content on the channel, as well as informing you of the bits I've already decided. Then again, until the release of FM20, we'll have daily content from FM19. We've got episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 from our Torquay United story. We're still chasing that elusive Champions League trophy, which we've got 2 more years left to win. Then finally our Snooker 19 career continues every Friday at 4:30. We're in the final event of the series now, the season-ending World Championships, so we'll have action from every round, so come and check out our progress to see if we can finish it by completing our dream and winning the Snooker World Championship. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another T20 Blast game as we look to continue in the way we've started.